Hello, brothers and sisters. I am here today to talk about my transition from Photoshop to Krita. Now, I had been a very heavy Adobe user ever since I started utilizing it in community college back in 2014. When I first learned about Photoshop and how you can animate in Photoshop through video layers, I was in awe and I have been using it ever since. But recently I wasn't able to afford it, and especially with, Adobe's kind of false advertisement for how they charge things, I couldn't afford it anymore. So I had to find a new method in animating and drawing. Now I wanted it to be the cheapest method possible. So I came across Krita. Now, I had never heard about Krita in the entirety of my life, but I came across it one day from this YouTuber. I don't remember their name, but I'll put their information on the screen and a screenshot of the video I came across. It was a video of them animating, showcasing their animation process of how they animated Lara Croft running away from some kind of lizard creature. And I was like, wow, it's pretty fluid. Not to say it's the software that makes you a good animator, but I thought it looked awesome. And I was like, oh, I can do all that? I thought Krita was just only for drawing. I didn't know it was animation too. So, for a free program, it's pretty good. Now, I also want to add in that I also had to make this change because of the fact that I'm somewhat of a freelance artist. And because of that, I am currently working with a client right now on the name of my client is the Ozon portal. Really recommend you check into his work. It's very cool. He's an artist and animator himself. Very awesome with utilizing visual effects, by the way. And lately, I've been working with him on an episode. Not going to disclose anything. I'm not letting you guys know anything. I'm not allowed to. But when I first started it, about earlier this year in February, I was utilizing Photoshop. But as I mentioned, couldn't afford it anymore. So I was like, okay, maybe at first I thought maybe I'll wait till I can afford Photoshop and I can continue working. I'm like, that's not cool. That's not how you work. So I had to figure out something quick. And once again, I came across Krita. It was free, so I gave it a chance. First impression when I downloaded it was this interface kind of gives me somewhat of Photoshop vibes. But then also when you change the workspace to animation, it gave me like Toon Boom Harmony vibes. That's just how I feel, because it's kind of similar to the interface of Toon Boom. I don't know much about Toon Boom. I just used it for a class in university and I wasn't really good at it. But at first, it was a struggle. This drawing that you're seeing right now is I started it back in June, which was actually when I lost Photoshop. And this was supposed to be the very first drawing I had done in Krita, but I only just recently finished it because I was struggling. I was trying to get out of my comfort zone with literally adding in lighting, I know the lighting doesn't make sense, but I'm trying to get the sense of how metal works. And I wanted to practice it with one of my favorite characters, Samus Aran. I also have another video I drew of her with making a somewhat of reference to Akira, the movie Akira. You're more than welcome to check that out as well. But nonetheless, I like the interface of Krita. For the price, the fact that it's free, it's pretty darn good. And one of the biggest pros, as opposed to Photoshop, is not having to deal with the dreaded message of your scratch disks are full. I hate that because look, I don't have a lot of RAM. I have 8 gigs of RAM. I utilize a MacBook Pro with the M2 chip. That's all I have. Okay, I got it from university, I got some deals, whatever, but it's all I have. So I make do with what I have and I'm very happy with what I have. I like the fact that it works fast and everything. But at the same time, it's just my laptop cannot handle 8 gigs of RAM cannot handle Photoshop. It can't. So that's such a relief with Krita. Doesn't eat up my RAM like Photoshop did. So I absolutely love Krita. Now, one of the cons I feel with it is definitely when it comes to syncing audio to visual within it, so that you know when to time your keys to specific audio tracks, is that you have to make sure your audio track is specific. You have to cut it a certain way and then insert it into Krita, because you can't slide it, you can't sync it in the way you'd like to. So if you have a really long audio track, usually in Photoshop, you can kind of cut it to where you want it, but in Krita you can't do that. So that's just one little irk for me. That's just me personally. But alongside that, I really don't have a lot of complaints. You know, I'm really getting the hang of it now, especially since having to watch tutorials, just play it out, test it out. After a few days, a few weeks, starting to get the gist of it, starting to get the hang of it, starting to get the flow of it. Even when I tried to go back to Photoshop, I cannot, the shortcuts, the shifting of shortcuts, just like, you know, in my brain, I'm like, I can't go back and forth between the two. But one Adobe product I still like to this day is After Effects. So I still utilize that and Audition to record even this right now. I like these two products because I like having the ability to add in visual effects and export. Another con I also want to mention, this goes hand in hand with what I was about to say, that I can't export the animations, I can't render the animations in Krita as .movs with alphas. That's the only thing. I know the workaround could be PNG sequences, but that's only helpful if you have a program that can read PNG sequences like After Effects. So, but nonetheless, that's just a small little detail. With this and After Effects hand in hand, I'm pretty good right now. And I plan on utilizing this for as long as I can. Hopefully they don't change any updates and make it worse. But getting back to the drawing you're seeing behind you, in front of you, it was a struggle. You know, I don't really understand metal, but I'm trying to understand. I'm just trying to experiment. And this whole drawing was just me learning Krita, getting comfortable with it, learning what tools to use, the type of brushes that are here, how to layer things. This was just all kind of like testing for me. But I also like the ending result. I got a little lazy with drawing the pieces around Samus, but you know what? I'm still very happy with how it turned out. definitely get back in the nick of things with uploading more work with purpose. It's like I also want to be able to make work on behalf of spreading the gospel, on behalf of talking about the kingdom, but I also want to learn how to better my skills alongside that. And this is also that process, kind of showcasing that, because I don't want to just make work for the kingdom that's just subpar. I really want to learn and get better, because I never want to be afraid. Don't ever be afraid to learn something new. It can be scary. It can be daunting. You're going to make mistakes. But if you're like me and you have a problem with perfectionism, let God work on that in your heart, and you'll be so happy with the fact that, wow, I'm learning something. I'm learning something new, And, through God, anything is possible. That truly is possible. So allow him to help you learn, because you don't want to end up having a stiff-necked mindset. Okay? That's not good. That's not going to help you get closer to him. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you all stay blessed and be sure to spend time with your Lord and Savior.